This screencast is for both students and parents. We're starting the second half of our Middle East unit, and we'll be investigating the Israeli-Palestinian conflict in this unit. This satisfies our requirement that students are able to identify and explain factors that contribute to the conflict and cooperation between and among cultural groups. So, of course, we're talking about the conflict between the Israeli and the Palestinians, between the Israeli Jews and the Palestinian Arabs that live in the region. This also satisfies a capstone project requirement that students do in 7th grade. They are required to use geographical knowledge, history, economics, and government to investigate various current topics. And so this one, of course, satisfies the regional cooperation theme. Explain the significance of and barriers to regional cooperation. And scroll down a little bit here. Religious conflict. Satisfies the religious conflict theme. Investigate conflict that arises from varying religious beliefs. So in this particular half of the unit, students are going to be receiving their instruction not in the classroom. This is called flipped instruction, and I'm going to link you, if you're interested in learning about flipped instruction, I'm going to link you to a quick YouTube video so you understand what that is. But basically what this means is that students will not be coming to class and using class time to listen to me teach. That will be done as outside of class homework via screencast. So if they go to my Middle East page and click on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict page, there will be various screencasts. They're embedded. Kids can, of course, click the link and go directly to YouTube and watch these screencasts. And there are instructions on what sort of note-taking activity they should do while they're watching the screencast, and handouts are over here in this area. The way that students are going to be graded in this particular unit is that the basic knowledge, the basic understanding of the material that's presented in our screencast is going to be quizzed. And in order to earn a C, they need to get at least 95% correct on this quiz. The point of the screencast is just to give them basic understanding. That is not the goal of the unit in and of itself. The goal is that students are able to do something beyond just basic understanding. So after they obtain the basic knowledge, students will be moving on and creating a project. They'll actually be working on their capstone project. A B-level project requires that students get 95% on the history quiz, which will also be a screencast. Basically, this covers the various events in a timeline fashion that have occurred in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. After this quiz, they'll move on to start their project, and in the project they will be exploring various resources to come to an understanding of these various roadblocks to peace. Social scientists have identified 5 major sticking points, things that Israelis and Palestinians just can't agree on. And so in order to earn a B, students will have to correctly identify these 5 roadblocks and state Israel's position and Palestine's position on each of those roadblocks. Students are going to be allowed to choose any format for their project to take that they wish. They can write an essay. They can do a PowerPoint or a Prezi or make a movie or something that's even more creative. We are not going to dictate what sort of project students have to turn in. The A-level project. In addition to the B-level requirements, students also, after they've identified the positions of Israel and Palestine on these 5 sticking points or roadblocks, they will come up with a peace plan. If they were going to sit down at the negotiation table, the Prime Minister of Israel and the chair of the Palestinian Liberation Organization, what would they try to negotiate? What sort of deal would they try to negotiate? So you can see that this requires students to not only comprehend the roadblocks or the sticking points in the positions of the two sides, it now requires them to evaluate each side's position and to create a plan and argue that. They have to argue why their plan is a good one. Students also will have an opportunity to earn a perfect score on this project by, so the 95 or the 9.5A, they can earn a 10A, and they would do that possibly by going above and beyond the expected knowledge and demonstrating that they have learned something beyond that which is expected by the teacher. That's this unit in a nutshell. Regarding the timeline, the week before spring break, we will be doing most of the basic knowledge learning, watching the screencasts, taking the quizzes, and then the project will begin after spring break. Students, if they own devices, should be bringing their devices to school during this time. A laptop computer, a netbook, a tablet will be incredibly useful. Thank you for watching the screencast. If you have any questions, you can feel free to email me.